Hi there, this is Alberto, and this is my screencast for the class Digital Video. If you often find yourself having to repeat the steps when using Photoshop, then this video is for you. I'm gonna show you how you can let Photoshop take care of those repetitive tasks. Alright? I am using the latest version of Photoshop, which is at this time the 23.2.2 release. But this is not a new feature. I've been using it since 1988 with Photoshop 5.0. So let's start with Photoshop Actions. These are steps that you can record and play to avoid having to repeat those same steps over and over. Let's see an example. What I'm going to do next is bring it up in my Photoshop. So just grab one of them. And what I'm gonna do from here is open my Actions panel, which I already have open, but if you don't, you can just go to Window and select Actions. From here, you can select any of the out-of-the-box actions that you have at your disposition. For example, there is one for sepia colors right here. And the way this works is the action has been recorded through the steps. And now all that I have to do is click play, and those steps are gonna be executed one by one in the order that you have them here. I can record on the top of this action, so be very careful when you have a action selected not to press record, because you are going to erase whatever actions you have. What I like to do is to create a folder. In this case, I'm gonna call the custom. And inside of this custom folder is where I like to go ahead and start creating my own actions. And this one I'm going to call pink and blue. So I'm going to set a shortcut. So every time I press Ctrl and F2, this action is going to play and execute over whatever file I have open. So I'm going to click record, and automatically we see this icon activated. It means that it's ready to start recording. So I'm going to stop the recording for now. There's nothing saved in there. I am going to get rid of this so I can start recording from scratch. If I have not stopped this recording, that action will always try to delete two layers that they are not in there. So let's start recording again. And what I'm going to do now is create a hue saturation adjustment layer, where I'm going to bring down all the saturation. Then I'm going to create a brightness and contrast adjustment layer, where I'm going to lower the brightness and raise the contrast. And then I'm going to merge all these actions. As you see, everything that you do is being recorded step by step. Now I am going to bring the gradient tool, and I'm going to choose one of my gradients here to be updated with a pink color. And let's call this pink. And then let's generate a blue one too. And let's call this blue. Generate that. So I'm going to click OK. I'm going to create a new layer where I'm going to put the blue gradient, and I'm going to set these to color, and then I'm going to create another layer where I am going to lay my second gradient, the pink, setting these in color as well. All right, I'm merging again, and at this point I'm going to stop recording my action. I'm going to close this file. I'm not going to save. I'm going to open again, and here in my custom folder I have my pink and blue action that we just created with all the steps we perform on this image. And to get it back again in this or any other file, we only have to select the action and click play. And just like that, super fast, performs every step. And if I have other images open, I can just repeat the same action. However, we can take this one step further and instead of opening one by one and adding the action, what we are going to do is let Photoshop find them and apply that action. So I'm going to File, Scripts, Image Processor, and here we are going to select the source folder, which in my case is Avatar. Then I'm going to click here, create a new folder, pinks and blues. I'm going to select that folder. So everything that gets processed is going to be saved in there. I want everything to be saved as a JPG with a high quality, which is a 12. That's the largest quality you can get. And then right here in step number 4, we're gonna say that we want to run from the custom actions. Remember, we created that folder. We want the action pink and blue. It chooses by default that one because it's the only one we have. And now I'm just going to run this. There you go. Let's open that folder and make sure that everything is in there. And here we see that indeed Photoshop has performed all those repetitive clicks for us. That's it for this video. I hope you find it useful. Actions are way more powerful than these, so I encourage you to look around in the internet and find more ways to use them.